and welcome to the PCSS Connection. Well, this week we're talking with Ron Chaffin, the Supervisor of Transportation for Putnam County Schools, and we also take a look at middle school homecomings in Putnam County. But first, we get to brag on one of our own students in Putnam County. At the Tennessee School Boards Association Upper Cumberland Fall District Meeting in Carthage, Cookeville High senior Addison Bray was named the recipient of the TSBA 2024 Upper Cumberland District Student Recognition Award. Addison was honored for distinction in academics, community leadership, and engagement as part of the TSBA Student Recognition Award program. Addison will have a chance to win the statewide honor at the TSBA Annual Convention in November. And joining us now is Addison Bray. Addison, congratulations on your award.
Thank you so much.
So was it a surprise for you?
It was, honestly. I really was not expecting anything about it, and I'm just extremely honored.
Yeah. Well, so there was like three areas there that really helped you win this award: academics, community leadership, and engagement. So let's talk about academics. What's your favorite class?
That's a really good question. So I'm in a lot of AP and dual enrollment classes.
Yeah.
So this year, I think my favorite AP class would have to be AP Statistics with Miss Rivers.
Statistics. Wow.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So GPA, I'm sure you're probably up there, like pretty high.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You plan on being an honor student? Have they said whether or not you're like top 10 and all that?
I'm not sure. I don't think rankings come out until the end of this semester.
Okay.
So.
Well, congratulations on your academics.
Thank you.
So what about community leadership?
Well, in 2022, I was the Putnam County Fairest of the Fair, so I was able to give back to our community through that.
Yeah.
At the end of my reign, I was able to organize a food drive that had over 2,000 items that I distributed throughout Putnam County, and especially in our school system. With Algon Middle School, they have a backpack program there.
Yeah, well, that is awesome. Check community leadership there. Did you enjoy being the Fairest of the Fair?
I did. It was a lot of fun.
Did you go to the pageant this year?
I did. I'm actually on the Fairest of the Fair board.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, sir.
Still giving back.
Yes, sir.
And then what about engagement?
Well, there's a lot of ways to engage with our community throughout Putnam County, and I think my favorite way is with lacrosse. I'm on the women's lacrosse team at the high school.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. And I'm also one of the coaches for the Lady Cavs youth lacrosse team.
Yeah.
So I love getting to coach that and give back and grow the game.
Is women's girls lacrosse, is it as physical as the guys? Do you guys get pretty physical out there?
So the boys wear pads, so they're completely full contact.
Right.
Us girls, we only have our goggles and we have our mouth guards and we have our stick.
So
it is still aggressive, but it's not as physical as the boys' game.
I got you. Do you
Yes,
get
sir.
hit with a stick or anything? Somebody ever whack you with a stick?
Oh, always.
How did you learn to play lacrosse? I mean, that's not really a sport that most people grow up with, but here in Putnam County, it really has, because at Cookeville High, it has been a very successful sport.
It has, and this year we're actually going to be in our first season as a TSSAA sport, which is very exciting. So we're getting to help make history.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yes,
I remember
sir.
when it was a club sport. That's great. It's come a long way.
It has. It truly has.
So in looking ahead, you have a chance to actually win the statewide honor. This was the district honor. What would that mean to you if you're able to win the statewide honor?
It would just be a true honor, because I believe that there are so many deserving high school seniors throughout the state of Tennessee, and to be able to know that I was the one that was chosen to represent all of us would just be such an honor.
Yeah. So how's school going this year? I mean, it's your senior year. It's you're not getting senioritis yet or anything.
No,
right?
not yet.
It's spring. We'll wait till spring.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not.
I don't think you're going to get senioritis. You just sit here and listen to all the accomplishments. I mean, you're a very well-rounded, intelligent young lady. So what do you plan to do with your life?
So I'm actually a verbal commit at Austin Peay State University to be a part of their inaugural women's lacrosse team.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow,
I know.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hate to see you go to Austin Peay and not stay here, but that's okay.
Well,
Clarksville's not too far.
It's very nice. I'm very excited. I'm excited to have this opportunity and to help grow lacrosse. I plan on majoring in sports management, and then after graduating from Austin Peay, I plan to attend law school and then hopefully work in sports law.
There you go. Wow, impressive. Of course, tell us a little bit about your family.
So my mom is Ashley Bray and my dad is Wesley Bray. I have two younger brothers. Jonah is a sophomore at Cookeville High School He plays football, he plays lacrosse, and he wrestles. And then I have a younger brother named Jasper. He is 11 and he is a fifth grader at Allgood Middle School. He plays football, he plays lacrosse, and he wrestles. So that we're all very
Very
involved
active, yes.
with athletics.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. So in your spare time, what do you do?
I like to read. I like to work out. I like to play lacrosse, obviously.
Yeah,
But I like to spend time with my family.
that's great. Now, when does the lacrosse season start?
So it will start in February.
Yeah. So you're kind of doing some preseason work right now, getting ready?
Hopefully after fall break.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Any big plans for fall break?
I think we may go to Florida with
Yeah.
everybody else in town.
Exactly. That's the thing to do. Exactly. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. Well, I know that you got this recognition and really justifiably so. Like I said, very impressive resume. And it seems like you already have things pretty much planned out for what you want to do. So is that kind of being the oldest and then also with your parents? I mean, they seem to be very structured and very driven, that they've been able to instill that in you?
I think it is my parents. They really push me to be the best version of myself every day.
Mm-hmm.
But they tell me all the time that I'm mature.
Yeah.
They call me an old soul, and I think that's part of it too.
That's great. Well, Addison Bray, congratulations for being the TSBA, stay with me here on this title, 2024 Upper Cumberland District Student Recognition Award recipient.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson.
It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you so much.
All right. And joining us now is the Transportation Supervisor for Putnam County Schools, Ron Chaffin. And Ron, are you feeling appreciated? Because it's been School Bus Driver Appreciation Day. You trust School Bus Driver Appreciation Day, so I'm sure your drivers are feeling very appreciated.
Yes, they are, and we have a great group, and they love being around each other. And I had a call from one of them today, and thanking us for what we did for them this morning, and she said it's great to know that when we get together we have such a good time. So
Yeah.
so it's a good feeling.
Well, donuts and chicken minis are great for anybody.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, how many bus drivers do you have?
As of right now, we've got 70 CDL drivers.
Okay.
And that includes anybody that's either a mechanic or our office people and drivers.
Yeah.
So we've got about 70.
Well, everybody knows that buses is an integral part of Putnam County school system.
Absolutely.
And that there's a whole lot more to it than just somebody getting behind it, going and picking their kids up and taking them to school.
Absolutely.
Take us through kind of a normal day of what it's like in the transportation department.
Well, what we do, and we have several buses that park at home,
Mm-hmm.
which is easier on them.
Yeah.
They park on their routes where their routes are, so it makes it easier. So what we normally do is Jim Hogan, our dispatcher, they will get on the radio and they'll say 50 en route, 51 en route. Every morning, so that we get an idea everybody's on the road.
Yeah.
And of course, all of our buses are equipped with GPS, and so we know exactly where they are. So,
and I think that's great because you never know. There's never a question about where your bus is.
right.
Yeah.
Technology is a great thing.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really helped us do what we're able to do. So, but we and then. We start our routes and pick up all of our students and get them to school, and usually we have everybody to school by 20 to 8 at the latest. So and then in the afternoon we come back and do it all over again.
Just in reverse.
Absolutely.
So how many students ride the buses?
Roughly right at 5,000.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got a right at 5,000 this year.
So you're transporting 5,000 kids to and from school every day.
That is correct.
Wow.
So
70 buses are all 70 out on routes every day?
Well, we got 70 drivers,
Yeah.
CDL drivers, but we actually have like 55 routes. So
Okay.
we've got those other 15 consist of our mechanics and our office people
gotcha.
and everything else. So
Mhm.
but we've got 55, and actually we're putting on 2 more routes in the next 2 weeks because we've seen some overpopulation on some buses, so we need to take care of that. So we're adding a couple more, and we've got the drivers to be able to do it. So we're very, very fortunate.
Putnam County's pretty big, and it there's a big area there to cover.
It really is, and when you go from Monterey to Baxter, and knowing, and one of the areas of growth is our Monterey area, and we've not had a new driver up there in several years. So that's an area that we're having to work on. And then of course we've got all of our Baxter buses that park in at Upperman, and
Right.
so that works out really well for us down there. So but it's a big area.
Now, did you hire a lot of new bus drivers this year, or have we been using kind of the same ones?
We've been using kind of the same ones. We've had some that have came back that used to drive back several years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and are good drivers, and just wanted to come back. So we've been really fortunate to be able to do that. We've not lost very many, but but because of growth and the way we need to do things, we've been able to add some. So,
Well, speaking of adding some, you've added some electric buses. I know we talked about that last year. And how's the electric bus situation going?
well, it's interesting you say that. We have just finished up our first full year, and we've started into our second year.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited about that, because I've been on a couple of conference calls over the last couple of weeks. Out of the grant that we got in 2022,
Mm-hmm.
all across the state of Tennessee, there was roughly 20 different electric buses that got awarded to counties across the state of Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
We have the number 1 and 2 bus of the most efficient for kilowatt usage of all the buses that went out. So Navistar International has done a lot of research, a lot of technical research, because they're able to see our buses and to see what kind of energy they're taking and how much it's to be able to do their routes. And so, but we have the number 1 and 2 with efficiency. So it's been really fun to say that.
So do you think we'll be getting more electric buses?
Well, we've talked about it. There's some hurdles we got to cross before we can do that. I had a really long discussion yesterday with our rep with Cumberland Truck, Ashley Skurlock, who's been amazing to work with. I mean, anytime we've had anything go wrong, she's been right there with us to help us with that. So we had some discussions about some things that we might be able to do. So it's possible.
Yeah.
We're learning.
Yeah.
It's been a learning process on how to take care of them.
Well, at least we're getting some good use out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, I know bus safety is huge, and it's something that you take very seriously. The drivers take very seriously. And one of the things maybe parents don't know, but there are cameras on the buses now, and you can see what is happening on the bus. Now, I'm glad it's now instead of when I rode the bus, because when you were throwing paper wads and you were doing all the things in the back seat, just now
you
can't
caught.
do those things. You have cameras.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What we do is of course drivers will call in and say, hey, I need my video pulled at 3:25 or 3:35 or whatever. So we'll make a note of it, and we'll have Dave Redmond is our technician that takes care of pulling videos, and that's pretty much what he does is watches them, and we get a lot of useful information off that as far as training and what we need to do in order to make it better, so and make it safer. So, but we'll pull the video. He'll cut out the and send it to the principals, and they have been really, really helpful, really supportive of anything that goes on. We're the investigators, and they're the ones that hand down the discipline. So so we're able to pull that information and get it to them, and so they've been really, really helpful with that.
GPS, cameras on buses, technology.
Oh, it's incredible, and we're even have been approached by several different companies about a lot of other things that we could do in order to even make it better than we're doing now. So one of those things that we've already begun this year was Stop Finder, and that has been a huge asset to us.
Right.
We have approximately 400 users now, and that means 400 parents. So if they've got 2 or 3 students in school, then it's really growing. So it's really helping us a lot.
Yeah, and that allows parents to know that the bus is 5 minutes away, 15 minutes away, that sort of thing. And what can they do to get Stop Finder?
What they do is they can either contact us, or they can go on and download the app. There's a Stop Finder app, and then just go ahead and sign up. And then once we do that, then we can go ahead and send them an invite. And then they will go ahead, and then we'll have them online, and then we can just go ahead and and put them on, and they'll be able to see, when we get 10 minutes away, or when students are getting 10 minutes before they get home, they're going to be able to say, hey, and it really helps for parents that work and not are home, for the older kids to know that, hey, they're home. Yeah. So it's a great benefit.
Let's talk about you a little bit. How long have you been the transportation supervisor?
I began in July of 2022.
Okay. Yeah. And what brought you to this position?
Well, back, I've been driving for roughly 15 years. Okay. And I actually had another job in between that I did during the day. And so I've been in the medical field for quite a while, but then the position was going to come open because Kim Bradford, who had been with the school system for years, was retiring, and I thought, I want to have a shot at that because it's always been my passion. I've always loved transportation. So I tell the story every time I can, but my mother was our bus driver from the time I was in first grade all the way up until the time I started driving to school. Really? So yeah, and that really made it tough on us. I have an older sister and I had a younger brother, and so
you couldn't misbehave at all.
No, she kind of used us as examples. Yeah. So, but we would get up at get on the bus at 5:30 every morning, get home at 5 in the afternoon. Yeah. And so that was just it's a passion that she had, and it makes me feel good to be able to do what I do. I mean, I just love it.
Now, are you from Cookeville?
I am. Yeah. I was born in what at the time was Cookeville Regional Hospital. So I'm a native of Cookeville.
You've been around the whole time.
Absolutely.
Well, tell us a little bit about your family.
Okay, I've got Alex. I've got a son.
Pretty good golfer.
Yeah, and trust me, he was self-taught. So one of those things. So, but I got a daughter-in-law named Jennifer and a grandbaby named Palmer. Wow. So, and she will be 3 next month. So I'm really excited about that. Dad my dad's Lewis Chaffin, and Carolyn is my stepmother. So got a big family, huge family.
I can remember covering Alex when he played at Cookeville High School, and wow, it has been a long time.
It has been. He loves the game of golf for sure. Yeah. So it's fun to watch him play.
Now, you said this is your dream job, so this is something that you have aspired to do, and I mean, anything on the horizon from here? Are you pretty satisfied?
I'm extremely satisfied with where I'm at, and because it's just been something I've always wanted to do. Yeah. So it's the one thing about transportation is no days are exactly the same. It's different all the time, and that's what keeps the excitement. Plus, being able to work around the people that I work around, and having the administration that we work with, and our school board, and just our overall school system is just it's phenomenal. Yeah.
And in case you were wondering, this is the guy who really determines whether or not we're going to have school on those snow days, because he goes out and he checks the roads at like 3:34 in the morning, and it's either a yay or an A.
Well, I've been that's been accused of that, but that's not totally the truth. But we have a lot of input into it, so about what we can do and what we can't do. But we're going to make sure
you get out early and you check the roads, and I know like in Monterey and places like that, in the outer parts of the county where sunlight doesn't get to a lot of times. Right. It's hard for those buses, and I think that's something people need to realize is that when we close schools, it's for the safety of the kids, especially the ones who ride the buses.
Absolutely, and we don't want to. We're not ever going to put anybody in jeopardy. Yeah. I mean that's the main thing, and we talk about being out of school for snow, but it's not always snow. I mean, we have hard rains and floods, and we got to make sure there's no creeks where we can't has not got any roads flooded or anything like that.
That's a good point.
So there's a lot of just not snow. It's different weather.
A lot of weather related things.
Right.
Yeah, and then I know we have a text thread that we all communicate with each other, and there's a lot of communicating that goes on.
There is early in the mornings, and a lot the night before on what's it look like. So we'll see in the morning. So there's it's communication's the name of the game. It really is.
Well, when you're not hanging out at the bus garage, what do you like to do in your spare time?
I like to play golf.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get to play as much as what I like to, but I love to run and walk and they're just to be outside. I mean,
And I'm sure spend time with the grandbaby.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Ron Chaffin, the supervisor of Putnam County Schools Transportation Department, thanks so much for being with us, and thank you for the job that you and the drivers do. Very much appreciated, and it's a shame there's just one day of the year where it's a designated appreciation day. We should appreciate our bus drivers all the time because they put in long hours and they really do keep the students safe on the streets.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for having me.
All right, thanks, Ron.
Thanks.
And as we wrap up this week, our middle schools have been enjoying homecoming for the past couple of weeks. They've had special days. They've had a football game. They've had homecoming courts. It's been great. So as we say goodbye, check out these images that we have collected from middle school homecoming in Putnam County. God bless everyone. See you next week.